Alrighty guys, so today we're going to be watching the Whatever podcast, some clips from them, and we'll go over a little bit of what these women think, and you know, and we'll try to see what we can interpret that Brian is saying, and here we go.
And you also write you're a spiritual gal and aspiring advocate.
Yes.
What do you advocate for?
Human rights.
Human rights, okay. You also describe yourself as an activist on your podcast page. You're a leftist,
Yeah.
a feminist.
Yeah.
Are you a socialist? Or Marxist? Or communist, I guess?
I have described myself on the
You know, she wants to say yes, because every one of these ignorant liberals are communist, or they'll say, oh, well, my professor said that it's not communism, it's Marxism. Like, it's the same thing, same ideology, and it leads nowhere, but we'll get back into it.
podcast previously as a communist.
Okay.
I still have similar, like whenever I dream of this utopia, I don't see it with there being money involved. Just like whenever you
No money.
imagine like heaven.
AKA, she needs slavery. That's exactly what that means.
There's no money, there's no like job.
Okay.
It would look different. Socialism, as Marx put it, I believe. So
And there's the reference to Marx. We knew that was coming. Every one of these commies does that.
socialism would be kind of a step to communism. Communism would probably be the closest way for me to describe what my utopia would look like, my perfect society. So I guess you could call me a communist.
So you're anti-capitalist.
I am anti-capitalist.
Anti-capitalist.
Yeah.
You work at the strip club.
Yep.
Do you engage in capitalism at the strip club?
I engage in capitalism outside of the strip club. It's
Sure.
a
Well, you have to.
fundamental. Yeah, you have to.
You have
exactly.
to. But they're
Well, they don't have to. I get what Brian's saying here. He's right, like, your typical everyday person, yeah. I mean, if you're wanting to make it through, you do have to work. I mean, that's just how it is. But if socialism and Marxism and communism, all these isms, was actually as good as they say it is, this girl and all of her little friends would go and make a community, and they would all just be communists together. You see, libertarians, sorry I couldn't think of the word. You see libertarians all the time, they start their own compounds. I mean, that can happen, but the reason it doesn't is because in order to do that, somebody's going to have to do the slavery, and none of them are going to do it.
could be circumstances in which, beyond just providing for your sort of basic necessity needs, like couldn't you maybe give a discount? Like do you give strip club coupons or
I don't.
discounts?
No.
Like you, at the strip club, you try to maximize your profits.
Yes.
Now, even in a capitalist system, you could still not strictly aim to maximize profits. Like you could strike some sort of balance between being able to provide for yourself, but also, not maximizing profits. Like landlords don't need to charge exorbitant rents, and maybe they might prioritize, like, I want to secure a really good tenant, and I can do this perhaps if or they keep an existing tenant, they don't raise the prices on them because they're a really good tenant, even though they could maximize profits by raising the rent. Maybe the tenant stays, maybe they go, but so why don't you practice it to some degrees? I'm not expecting you to like fucking live on the street,
Yeah.
but you could.
Brian brings up a really good point. If you're so anti-capitalist, why not make just enough to get by? Shoot, you could even have some amenities, but make enough to get by, and then give back, redistribute your wealth. I mean, because that's what y'all claim y'all want to do. I mean, you have every opportunity to do it, but you know how these people are. They never will. They don't practice what they preach. They want to be in a socialist or Marxist society, so that way they can be in power and rule over everybody absolute. That's what it always boils down to. You can't have Marxism, socialism, communism. You can't have any of that without it boiling down to a dictator who has complete control, and that's what they want. And all these people say these things, and they know they're lying. They don't want a world where nobody's, forced to work, as they would say, forced to work. But here, we'll continue.
Give a bit of leeway at the strip club, like give a little bit of a discount at the strip club as a show of your worldview and ideology.
Yeah. I think I would consider it for like more regular customers. At most of the strip clubs that I've worked at, we don't get to choose our own prices. I actually just recently started working at a club where you do.
It's so sad to see this young of a girl working at a strip club. Like, what are you thinking? Like, I just don't get it, man. It's sad to see the generation of women that we're being raised with, and I'm 32, and the generation of women I was raised with, they were a little more modest, but not much. And it's like, you're ruining yourself from the jump, just this young. You're already ruining yourself.
You get to choose your own prices.
Okay.
The club will charge you a certain amount for the room, so like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, or like per song they charge you, and then you kind of charge from there.
Yeah.
Right now we do have there is a set amount on the song dances, so I have to charge I have to specifically say $30 a song, and then plus a tip.
Yeah.
I'm stricter the cheaper the dance is. Like for the songs, I keep my shoes on, I keep my clothes on, I have to dance with my shoes on, and it's pretty uncomfortable.
So start explaining her degenerate job.
Business and communism.
So they just do dominatrixing for free, I guess.
For fun, yeah, I guess.
For funsies. Thereafter.
You could strip while you fish.
Yeah, true. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I suppose you could.
If somebody pays you like, I don't know, 30, and then another guy pays you 1,000 for like a private room.
So it would be on a small scale. Complex argument, I would say.
Jobs, right?
Yeah.
That is viewed as undesirable. Civilization, society.
Yeah.
Those are the prices. You give them two different things, right?
Technically,
You're
I
a bad
guess
communist. You're a horrible communist.
it's a strip club situation.
But I guess moving it
I'm
on.
an employee.
Moving it on a
Kind
little
of.
bit. We won't linger too long on this topic, but
Okay.
in a communist civilization, society, there are things in the society that need to be done, right? Like, for example, can you think?
I can tell where he's about to go with this, and this is why I said in the beginning, communism and all that crap is gonna only work when you have slavery, because there's gonna be stuff that people don't want to do, but it's gonna have to be done. And the best way I can put it is, why on earth would you go and study 10 plus years to be a doctor when you're gonna make the same as an idiot like me who digs holes for a living? We're gonna make the same money? No, ain't nobody gonna want to go be a doctor. And that's not even the undesirable stuff Brian, I'm sure, is gonna speak about. Normally this argument comes with, who's gonna dig ditches, who's gonna run sewer, who's gonna clean the sewer. But we'll see what Brian says here.
Think of a job, even in a capitalist society, that is viewed as undesirable.
Absolutely.
Like perhaps waste management, so garbage men, garbage collectors.
I was close. Garbage men, that's another one.
Or people that go into sewers or dirty jobs, right?
Yeah.
How would you have? Who would do these jobs in a communist utopia?
Quickest answer here, Brian. Slaves. Your slaves would do it, because that's the only people that would do it.
I love this question. It's because it's like the most asked question whenever you're talking about communism.
Yeah, who would do those jobs?
So I guess it depends on if there's like a base living wage where we're still getting quantifiable income for the labor that we provide, or if there's no wages. We'll go with the no wages option.
I would hope she would go with the no wages options, because her first argument was in her ideal, society, there would be no money involved. So yeah, let's go with the no wage one because that's what she wants.
Just because that's a little bit more of a complex argument, I would say. No wages.
The condescension, man, and her thinking that she's probably about to lay something down here. She thinks it's going to be good. We'll see.
We all mutually meet each other's needs. So we would be living in smaller communities. There would be no like national corporation overhead leading the waste management. So it would be on a small scale, individual. Studies
But
have.
question for you
Yeah.
though. Of the existing housing stock that we have, how would we, obviously there's more desirable geographic locations. Southern California, very desirable location to live. Indiana, not so much. If, I guess everybody's equal in this circumstance, like do we just demolish our existing housing stock?
Not necessarily.
So
I would
who
say
gets
reduce-
who gets to stay in the mansions?
Mansions is a different one. I think mansions, preferably in a utopia, would be more shared and communal spaces.
Okay.
So like.
Brian knows as much as I do here. She's so full of crap. Mansions would not be shared communal spaces. You know who would get the mansions is your dictator, his wife, his kids, their friends. That's exactly how that would go.
Groups and big families that want to live together, I think that would be a good way to distribute the mansions.
Okay.
Desirable locations, so like really cold versus really hot, stuff like that. One part of that is people already live in those areas and are choosing to live in those areas. Now, you could argue that they're living in those areas because they can't afford to live in a place like Santa Barbara or something, or Southern California, something like that. It is real expensive out this way. But like for me, from North Carolina, where it's a lot more affordable to live, I wouldn't live anywhere else. I love it there. So I think a lot of the times that's going to be the case is where people want to be able to stay where they're at. Addressing the.
She's missing the point, though. Yeah, of course you're going to have people that want to stay where they're born and raised. That's a given. But if you were to do this communist utopia, you'd have to take everything over, first of all, by force, and then try to redistribute the wealth. And what would end up happening is, again, mansions, all the nice places, would be for the elites, the people who know the dictator that's inevitable. And then, here you go again, your slaves would be put into these little, like buildings or whatever, little barns. It forces people into a horrible life, and that's why I hate when communists like this, they say the dumbest stuff, man, and they don't realize how much they are advocating to bring back slavery. We tried so hard to stop slavery, and they just want to bring it back every time. It's liberals and these communists who always want slavery.
The issue of people relocating, it would just depend on how we're getting everything done. If we need more of that undesirable labor to get done, that could be an incentive for either staying or leaving an area.
Okay, but I think part of the reason that people might remain in less desirable geographic locations in the United States, I agree with you that some people are kind of, what would be the right word, perhaps content with living in these areas, but some people do so out of economic necessity. I'm confident if, for example, I don't know what the exact number would be, maybe it's half. If we were to, all the people that live in like super cold regions in the United States, I guess some people like that. I'm not going to dispute that. If we were to offer them a transportation totally free to Southern California, and if we were to offer them free housing and food in California, I'm confident you would see large swaths of the United States population who live in colder regions or less desirable geographic regions. It doesn't even have to be California. It could be Florida. It could be other parts, more desirable geographic locations. So I guess, do we just completely abandon the existing housing stock in sort of, middle of America?
Brian is so right. The thing is, if you try doing this redistribution of wealth type thing, and you try to start over and say, okay, who wants to be here? There is no money, your job, you know, it doesn't matter what you make. You can live here, you can live here. Brian's correct. Everybody's going to do what humans have always done, and they're going to flock to the coastal cities. I mean, that's just how humans have always been.
Maybe not completely abandoned. I would say repurpose and reuse those already constructed
You're right.
buildings.
And then what do we do with like the massive influx of people who would move to, like, say, California or Florida?
If there was a governing body over this geographical region, I like to imagine like an
She wouldn't let them do that because her and her dictator friends would force people to live where they don't want to live, and the slaves ain't coming to California. You're not going to let the slaves live in the nice houses.
ethics council that would govern areas little by little. So this ethics council rules over this area. I would say it would be part of their ethical considerations to consider the geographical limitations of these areas. So if there's
Yeah.
only so much land that can be used, it would be unethical to bring more.
If you say ethical enough, people might think that you're actually being ethical. That must be what her thought process is, because what she's describing is just everything she wants is so unethical and abhorrent. Like, it's disgusting. She is literally advocating for slavery. This is a disgusting person, man.
People in, because then it would lead to unsafe housing conditions.
What if people don't consent to communism?
She would do what all the communists do and be a dictator and probably kill them. That's what communists do. And then look at her face right here. It says it all. I don't care. I would do what I had to. I would kill him if I had to. That's exactly what she wants to say. I bet she don't say it, though.
Like, you realize that there are capitalists in society that would fight against communism.
It depends on how the transition goes. So like,
Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
So Santa Barbara, the area we're currently in,
Yeah.
there's an area of Santa Barbara called Montecito, which is obscenely wealthy. It's one of the wealthiest parts of the entire country.
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey lives there. A bunch of other celebrities live there. What's stopping me once we descend into a communist society from, well, I want to live in Oprah Winfrey's house now. She doesn't want other people to live in her house. So, but what's stopping me and a band of ragtag Santa Barbara people from just taking her house? Or does she, it's not her house anymore,
Yeah.
right? Whose house is it?
I guess, yeah, there's less
Is there a
personal
state?
property.
Do you see? This is why communism doesn't work. She can't defend it. She can't even tell you what should happen. It's ignorant.
Is there a state?
That would, like I said, depend on the way that we transition into that.
It would depend on how violently we overthrow people, is what she means.
So like I said, it would, in the peaceful way of going into communism, I guess we would go through socialism.
That comment right here, 100% accurate. Because when women are given the power over life and death, they always choose death. Look at this. I mean, look at female prison guards. Look at female school teachers. They abuse power when they get it because women should not have power.
Have universal basic income, basic needs all met through income, through making sure that we have the income
Their needs would be met through slavery, is what she means.
that we need.
Yeah.
And then we would eventually, I guess, get to a point where we wouldn't need the income. So at that point, maybe everybody would agree to no longer have income.
But there's no private ownership of property, right? Is that?
I think my personal focus is less on like private ownership of property and like more like corporations, billionaires, like the massive scale. So like.
But can I own? Do I own a house? Is a house mine under communism?
I think I would say ideally yes, in the way that house is your access to safety and shelter.
Funny she talks about billionaires and stuff. Give this girl $5 million and watch how quick she goes capitalist and never talks about communism again.
Yeah, safety. You know what a house naturally provides: safety, shelter, and comfort for you to develop your family. That would be, I would consider, a basic human right.
But are we
So
all
covered.
equal under communism?
Equal is a strong word,
But so
yeah.
why does Oprah get that house and I'm living
I
not
don't think
in
Oprah does
Oprah's
get that
house?
house. I don't.
Brian's doing a beautiful job here of pointing out how stupid, how unrealistic communism is and what it does, which is it forces people out of what they work for. That's why people love America, man. Like me, myself, I own a business. I move and set mobile homes. I do well for myself, and I worked hard to do that. I'm the one who took the risk. Why on earth should this girl here get 99% of what I'm working for to redistribute across everybody? That's crazy, man.
I don't think
So
Oprah
she
should.
gets kicked out of her house?
I would argue, yeah.
Does she get the guillotine as a capitalist?
That's not for me to decide.
Look at that smile. Look at that just terribly devious smile. Man, that's sick. She wants death to rich people. That's crazy, man. All because they did the right thing. They made the right choices. She wants them to die. I mean, look, watch her body right here. She's excited,
Would you like to see capitalist guillotines?
smiling,
That's a controversial question.
Why? Why?
not even really trying to hide it. I mean, oh, that's a controversial question. Yeah, because your answer is you would want to kill the billionaires. That is sick. That's disgusting, man.
Is that controversial?
Well, if I were to want to be a politician one day with my political science degree, I don't want to be on the interweb saying, yes, Jeff Bezos should get guillotined.
This girl will never be in politics. There's just no doubt about it in my mind because you're radical. Like you're literally the epitome of radical leftism. And it's disgusting. You want death to people for no good reason.
That would be, and now we're going to clip it and it's going to go crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but-
is that your position?
I wish that there was a way for all of us to live peacefully together without there having to be.
Funny she's talking about being peaceful when she literally wants to kill these people in the street for their only crime being they made good decisions in life.
Guillotines, I'm sorry.
But do you think the world would be more peaceful if we were to
Yes.
guillotine? Whoa, I didn't
Wait, so are you okay? Are you okay with offing people because of their political or
Yeah.
financial, like, perspectives?
Political, no.
So, wait. So hold on. Or sorry. Do you want to continue answering her
Just
question?
real quick. Political, no. It depends on the steps that we're taking and that we've already taken. Like,
Like I said earlier, the only way that you can get to this communism and what she's wanting, and when she says it depends on how we transition, no, it depends on how brutal you are in your takeover, how many people you slaughter in the street to scare other people. That's crazy, man. That's sick.
if we're in a revolution and we're
Yeah.
trying to take over the world, somebody could get to Elon Musk and take over his house.
But
Okay.
you're saying guillotine, which is inherently like a state authoritarian thing. It's not like a individual doing something to another
Well,
individual.
the
Yeah.
collective people could
Right.
guillotine.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, it's a large body of people typically in charge or that have revolted that are doing it, and typically it's against somebody who has a different political leaning.
Yeah.
Because they're capitalists,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So are you okay with offing capitalists?
No.
Well, you just
So
said,
why are you
said
okay
yes,
with
though.
offering
You said we should
somebody like Jeff?
guillotine Jeff Bezos.
Way to backtrack.
I said that I would.
I'm really glad Brian caught that because she literally just advocated for taking people out all because they made good choices.
I would be okay.
If somebody else did it.
I
And
wouldn't be sad about it.
That is
I
the
would-
Like,
exact.
you wouldn't hold Jeff Bezos down, but you would
I
be
wish
in the
that there
crowd
was a-
cheering.
I wish that there was a peaceful way to go about things, and I hope that there is a peaceful way to go
A
about
peaceful
things.
way to guillotine people.
No, not to guillotine people, just to cultivate a kinder society.
How
That's
did
all I
s-
want.
Those are
how
not.
did-
Talking about a kinder society, it's always the people who say crap like that who are the most disgusting people. I mean, look at her, man. It's gross. Her ideology is just disgusting, and it's disturbing, really.
Stalin and Mao go about their communist.
Good point,
Killing
Brian.
out millions of people.
Yeah.
But those millions of people were not, I assume, were not the wealthy.
No, they weren't. Question: how much do you have any savings?
For my upcoming tuition, yeah, I have.
A couple thousand in savings. Do you have any crypto or? Yeah. But you have what? Maybe $10,000 in savings, less.
Way less.
Less. Okay.
Brian, the only reason she's saying that is because you know a girl like her ain't never gonna work for nothing. She literally does the life on easy mode thing. I'm gonna show my body to get money to get by. Not to mention, I'm sure her parents are wealthy and she's not admitting any of this. Because it's always the children of the wealthy who say, we need to redistribute our wealth. No, you don't. And, again, just sick, her ideology.
I don't
y'all
know
wanna help with
exactly
that.
where I don't know where that puts you on a global scale. Well, I guess kind of my issue here a little bit is you may be in the 1% globally. So what happens
accurate.
when like third worlders view you as the 1% and come for you with the guillotine?
Brian makes a good point. Everybody here in America is top 1% because we live with clean water. We live with indoor plumbing. We have all the amenities. We are the top 1%. And she don't want to admit it because she knows that as a communist, she should sell her house, her cars, anything she owns, and just give it to these poor people that she's always advocating that we enslave.
I would hope not. I try to advocate for everybody and be kind to everybody. I'll smile at everybody.
You're a
and
1%er. They don't care. You're going to get the guillotine.
I would really doubt that I'm a 1%er.
You are.
Well,
if you drove here,
globally?
if you flew here, like
Globally, you might
We're
be in
all
the
1%ers
1%
here.
globally.
No, I don't think that.
If you have a
is
few
what- how that
$1,000s in
works.
savings, you might be 1% globally.
Maybe.
You got to think there's like, what, 1.4 billion people in India?
Yeah.
And like 1.39 of those people, whatever, they don't have the equivalent of $1,000 in savings.
Sure.
So globally, I don't know, you kind of seem like a bit of a capitalist hoarder over here.
I'm about
A
to
little
spend it
bit.
all on tuition. I don't even have my full semester's tuition right now.
that's your
Yeah.
own thing, though. You're not spending it on other people.
Would you like to see a hegemonic worldwide communist system?
I don't know what hegemonic means.
Okay, let's.
She wants to be in politics. Keep that in mind. She wants to be in politics. Well, that's all I'm going to do on this video, guys. I just wanted to point out some discrepancies and how disgusting this woman really is. Thank you, Brian, for hosting this podcast. You really do polarize a lot of these crazy ideals that these women claim they have, which I think, honestly, they don't even have these ideals. I think that it's just something they heard from a professor and they thought it sounded smart, so they regurgitate it without actually knowing what it is. And again, give this girl $5 million. Watch how quick she is anti-communist. It happens every time, and it's unfortunate that kids these days, when they're in college, until they get about 28 years old, they really don't see how crazy this stuff actually is. But y'all have a good one. I'm out of here.